Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening to all of you gentlemen and ladies and all the industry colleagues. And we are again here on yet another initiative from Paramount Instruments. I am Gagan Kapoor. I'm a marketing consultant. And with me is the CEO of Paramount Instruments, Mr. Manjit Singh Saini. Good evening, Mr. Manjit.
Very good evening. Very good evening. Just so happy to be here with all the people, all our customers, all our people who really want to, learn things. Whatever small we have learned, it is always a pleasure to give them back. Yeah, go ahead, Gagan.
All right, wonderful. So what we are going to today is another day where we are going to be talking yet another industry challenge around quality. And today our session is all about how effective fabric inspection can double your productivity. And yes, it is possible just by mere looking at fabric inspection, of course, in detail, which Manjit will be talking about today. We will be discussing and sharing all those things at depth today. So a detailed session. What we are going to do today, as usual, we are going to spend about 40 to 45 minutes in me answering questions to Manjit, and Manjit answering questions. Maybe he will be making certain presentations as well, just to give you more and more knowledge about fabric inspection. And of course, like last time, we had spent an hour literally in asking questions, and we made sure that we answer each and every question, and you all as well. There is a Q&A box at the bottom or top of the screen, depending upon which device you are joining in from. Whenever you have any doubt in your mind, immediately post that into the Q&A box. We are going to ensure that we answer every question. In fact, a very interesting thing happened this afternoon, right? While we had sent out our information to people about this particular session, people started sharing their questions with us in advance, that please take up this question. And one such question also came up from 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰 for that matter, which was really wonderful. And we will be taking all of those questions as well. I also see that some of you are trying to raise your hands. At this point, you may not, you don't need to really raise your hands. We will take up these questions little later. Okay, so I'm going to lower all the attendee hands for that matter at this moment. And yes, one more thing I would like to talk about. Last time, we had promised that all our attendees, in fact, we had more than 105 attendees last time. We had promised that we are going to have top 3 winners for their most engagement, being available on chat, action on chat, and all of these elements as well, right? So what we are going to do today is we are going to also have 3 awards going. But before that, if you attended last time's program, type in yes for me in the chat box. Yes, the chat box is now open. And if you attended last time program with us, type in yes for me in the chat box. Okay. Yes, I can see Anuradha saying yes. Okay. Immediately the yeses started coming in. Okay. More yeses coming. Alok Sharma says yes. Suyash says yes. Dr. Datta says yes. Super duper. Wonderful. So yes, we are going to make sure that again, the next value comes in. But yes, my point here is that we are going to give 3 awards today for the winners from the last time. And I am so very happy to announce the winners. These winners, for their engagement, asking questions, and being so involved into the session that last time, are Mr. Vinay Singh Rathod from Tesca Group, Anuradha from 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰. I saw her today, I guess. And then Mr. Ashok Malik from the Centex International. Yes, we will be doing both of, we will be giving awards to all of these 3 people. And yes, your awards will reach out to you for the engagement you have shown, right? With this, we will get to our topic for today on how effective fabric inspection can double your productivity. But no session can start until and unless we introduce our dear panelist, who is going to be the star speaker, right? And now I would like to one more time introduce our CEO of Paramount Instruments, Mr. Manjit Singh Saini. Manjit, as I said, is the CEO of Paramount Instruments. His company Paramount is a well-known company in the textile testing instruments in India. Manjit did his schooling from GNPS Punjabi Bagh. Then he is a commerce graduate from SGTP Khalsa College North Campus. He has been among the toppers always in his class, in his school, as well as the college. He then has undertaken various textile testing trainings from USA and UK, and he's also taken various management trainings at IIM Ahmedabad and MDI Gurgaon. He's extensively traveled to UK, USA, Japan on specialized CEO missions and leadership trainings. A widely traveled man, Manjit has traveled to more than 63 countries across the globe. In 1992, Paramount diversified into textile instruments by supplying basic testing instruments, and then there was no looking back after that. Today, Manjit, who's the executive director of Paramount Group, has more than 100 instruments for textile industry with latest IoT-based, Internet of Things-based instruments. Paramount today is regarded as the pioneer and the leader in the textile testing domain. Under his leadership, Paramount has further diversified into providing quality testing instruments in other domains like footwear, leather, artificial leather, automotive, non-woven, paper, cardboards, and packaging industry. Since 1964, Paramount is on a mission to help companies grow exponentially through quality control. His hobbies, he loves to do yoga, reading biographies, and inspirational books. And if you happen to be in his office, you will see at least 3 such big rooms full of books, which is really very inspiring, right? And he, of course, has been regularly conducting various sessions on quality control. And along with that, what he says, his mantra is life is beautiful. Keep on enjoying it. And of course, here I present to you the ever smiling Manjit Singh Saini, who is always I've seen ready to help. Welcome, Manjit.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate, and it's always a pleasure. Once again, very, very good evening to all of you. And I always look forward, so that I can talk to my customers, talk to my, people who are always eager to learn. It is always a pleasure. Whatever small we have learned in these so many years, it is always a pleasure to share that. So, Gagan, I think we can start the whole thing, please.
Absolutely, yes. And so, Manjit, I want to ask you now the question being fabric inspection and doubling your productivity, right? So my question to you in this case is, many big players we've seen are getting big orders, right? I want to ask right from the start with a question is that how important is fabric inspection, this whole scenario of getting orders, doing more business? What is the importance of fabric inspection?
Okay, I think let me try to give the answer to this question from the brief background of Indian textile and garment industry, because it was always good, that we can understand it from a bigger perspective. So Indian textile industry is actually really, really huge, which employs nearly 4.5 crore people. I think some of the facts I also shared in the last webinar as well, but it is always good to keep on, visiting the facts so that they go inside us and we can understand the vastness of this industry. India happens to be the second largest exporter of textile and clothing in the world, with 44.4 billion US dollars of exports in the financial year 21-22. And the good thing is, that we are poised to grow to US 190 billion US dollars by 25-26. In the coming years, the demand for the textile will be rising hugely. Why I'm telling you all these things, because everything has to do with the fabric inspection. We're talking about the textile industry, and fabric is the major thing. That's the output of the whole textile industry. And out of the fabric, we make garments, we make clothing. So for that, the global textile industry will grow to $2.1 trillion industry by 2025. Very big potential. And I don't know, we are lucky or unlucky, but due to COVID-19 crisis, India has been lucky to get advantage from the biggest players or the buyers of textile, which is Europe. This is a complete continent, as well as the USA. And we strongly feel, that this opportunity needs to be tapped. Yeah. And so happy, I'm so happy to say that we are in a very promising nation as far as our country is concerned. We can take full advantage of this huge opportunity due to some inherent advantage we as India, carries. We as Indians have, and we as our country carries really large pool of skilled, as well as I can say, economical labor. I will not use cheap word because economical is better. Reservoir of Indian natural resources. We are full of natural resources, and they say God lives in India. Yeah, really biggest pool of textile graduates in the world. See, you go to any other neighboring countries as well, you will see most of the top positions in these textile companies have been occupied by our Indians, and we are so proud of that. Our legacy in textiles and handmade articles is known actually world over. And, and last not the least, we also happen to be the biggest producer of cotton in the whole world. Now, I believe with this background, when we talk about garment export industry, we can understand the context from a very wider perspective. Garment exports from India have been at about, I think, $16 billion in 2021. And I am saying this, we have a very big potential to grow. Now, I'll give you a very simple example. One of our neighboring countries is sitting at, a garment export turnover of about $13.46 billion in the same period. Now, just see, a small country can do this much, then what kind of things we have for India to tap. So now, when we talk about garment exports, whether it is menswear or it is ladies' wear or it's kids' wear, fabric per se attains very high importance. And I can comfortably say the fabric constitutes about 60 to 70% of the total cost of the garment. Now, you can very well imagine how important the fabric and the fabric inspection is in this particular industry. Hence, it becomes very important to check this particular resource, which is called fabric, at the right stage to avoid unnecessary losses at the later stage. Yeah, this is very, very important. And fabric inspection will not only ensure good quality of a finished garment, but it also reduces the rejections. I think I'll be covering it a little more later. It improves efficiency, and it actually helps in timely deliveries. The main purpose, when we are talking about the inspection, is the main purpose of the fabric inspection is to detect the faults at the early stage so that there is minimum possible wastage of time, which is very important, and money. Yeah. So with 60 to 70% of the cost of the garment, Gagan, I hope you can very well understand how important fabric inspection is in this whole scenario.
Absolutely, absolutely, Manjit. I can completely understand. And yes, it is very, very critical. And that is why we decided to do a full session on it, to go into depth of what goes behind the scenes and how can you really make a change. So, as I understand, Manjit, that there must be some systems which needs to be followed to be able to manage your fabric well, to inspect the fabric well, right? Would you like to kind of highlight these systems a bit and tell us how can you really inspect the fabrics in a much better manner?
Yes, I think it's a very relevant question. Thank you for raising it. And I may require some help from you in this question I'll try to show a small slideshow as well so that I can try to make things much more easily understandable to all our participants today. Yeah. So I think there are about 4 systems which are followed all over the world. One is called the 4-point system. The second is called the 10-point system of fabric inspection and detection of faults.
So let's wait to hear. Yes, I think we lost you for the moment, Manjit, but yes, now I'm back. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No problem. There are 4 prevalent systems globally, in the world, which they use, out of which the first one is very prevalent. It's very famous. The first one is 4-point system. And then we have the second. I think we need to
Can I share the screen if you please?
Yeah, I will really request you to please share the screen as well. It will be really good. So let me just cover. One is the 4-point system, other is the 10-point system, and the third one is called the granite vial 78 system, and then the Dallas system. Now, when we talk about the inspection systems, these are the 4 most important and widely used systems which we have. Yeah, the next one, please. We will be talking about, the 4-point system first. It's the most widely used, and I'll request all the participants to please try to understand it well, because when they do fabric inspection, it's going to give you a very good base of doing the fabric inspection in the best possible way. Now, in the 4-point system, the faults are identified, from a scale of 4. Like we have to give penalty points of 1 to 4. And according to this system, we check about 100 yards of fabric. We take total defects in per 100 yards of fabric, and the fabric, if the fault, or we can say the penalty points, are more than 40 in a 100 yard of fabric, it will be rejected. So simple. The system is very simple. If the fault or defect is up to 3 inches, it is given 1 penalty point. When the fault goes all the way from 3 inches to 6 inches, the penalty point goes to 2 penalty points, right? And then when it goes to 6 inches to 8 inches, the penalty point will be going all the way to 3 penalty points. Yeah, this is there. And then when the fault or the fault or rejection is up to 8 inches, then the defect, when it carries up to 8 inches, we give 4 penalty points. And then we also take care of the holes in the fabrics when we are inspecting it. If the hole is 1 inch or less, it is 2. And if it is over 1 inch, it is 4 points. It's not 1 point. It is written a little wrongly. Yeah. The next, please. Now, we need to understand some general rules for the 4-point system. In no 1 meter, we can give more than 4 points. Whatever may be the fault or the defect, we can maximum give 4 points. Yeah. And if a defect is repeatedly throughout the entire piece, then we will be calling it as the seconds. We call it second fabrics, which has to be sold at a much lesser price. So this is what is there. And when we are saying that a trade discount of 8 to 15% is allowed, it all depends on the buyer. It may even go to 20%, 25% as well. But this is the major thing. And the cloth is normally always inspected on the face side only, upside. Yeah, these are the 3 things which we need to take care. On the next one, please. Now, how do we grade the fabric? This is also very important. Now, defect points values should be counted in 100 yards. I told you the whole thing is always taken into 100 yards of a thing. If the defect points or value is less than 40, then this is how we grade the fabric. If less than 40, it is a grade A fabric. If it is from 40 to 60 penalty points, it becomes grade B fabric. If it goes all the way to 60 to 80, it goes to grade C fabric, and above 80, it is actually totally a rejected fabric, and it cannot be used for nearly anything. Yeah. Now, I think we can take an example to explain this. The next slide, please. Yeah. Now just see a fabric roll of 130 yards. This is the total length. Yeah, the long fabric, which is 45 inches wide. The width, the panna jo hota, that is 45 inch. Now we are taking a simple example that if it has 6 defects up to 3 inches, then 6 into 1, because 1 penalty point is to be given, gives you 6 points. And that fabric has got 5 defects, more than 3 inches, but less than 6 inches. There it will be giving 2 points. So 5 defects into 2 is 10 points. Similarly, 2 defects are little longer ones, which is about over 6 inches, but they are less than 9 inches. So to this, we'll be giving, 3 into 2, 6 points. And then 1 defect over 9 inches, a long, big defect. So it will be having, 4 points. So, and it also carries 1 hole, which is 1 inches. It also takes 4 inches. So total defects in a fabric roll of 130 yards with a 45 inches width is coming out to be 30 points. Now the formula, a very simple formula to check, the points is as, like this. Points per 100 square yard is equal to total points scored in the roll. We have just scored in the roll the points into 36 inches, that's a yard. And then fabric width, we know it is 45 inches. And then total length, that also we know it is 130. So 30 by 36, oblique 130 by 45 into 100 makes it 18.4 defect points per yard square. So this makes this particular fabric perfectly okay because it is less than 40 points. Yeah, the next please. Now, this, I hope you can understand, it's a very simple system, but it is widely used everywhere, the 4-point system. And when you have a fabric inspection machine, we strongly recommend that you should know this system so that every roll which you get can be given the penalty points, and you can always grade every roll to A, B, C, and defective as well. The second system which is used is 10-point system. In this system, there we were giving 4 points. Here the maximum points which can be given is 10. And if the total defect points per 100 yards are more than 100 in this, it will be rejected. Like there, it was 40 points in 100 yards. Here it is 100 points in 100 yards. In this system, warp and weft direction faults are separately inspected and assigned defect points, warp as well as weft. So this is another second system which is used. And the next, please. Now in this system of 10-point system which we're talking about, up to 1 inches gets 1 point, 1 to 5 inches gets 3 point, 5 to 10 inches gets 5 point, and 10 to 36 inches, which is about 3 feet defect, is given 10 points. Both ways, in warp as well as weft. So similarly, we'll be using the formula so that if we use this 10-point system, we can actually take out the defect points and grade the whole fabric. The next one, please. Now, I don't have much time to explain all the systems in detail, but surely I want to touch them up. And if you have any questions, you can always come back to us. We'll be too happy to give answers to all your questions. Granite foil 7/8 system was a system which was less, which is the short lens fault less than 9 inches would normally be removed in this particular system. It's for the garment cutting components. The system aims to balance the significance of longer. Longer means more than 9 inches, and place less weight to 1 to 10 inches. If the fault is from 1 to 10 inches, it will not give more consideration to that. More than long, it takes care of everything. Say, for example, 9 inches is given 1 penalty point, 9 to 18 inches, that means about 1.5 feet defect is given 2 points, and then 18 to 27 inches given 3 points, and then 27 to 36 which is all the way to 3 feet, is given 4 points. So this is granite while 7-8 system, which I think you may have known a little bit about this as well. And last but not the least is the Dala system, which was actually introduced in 1970s, mainly for the knitted fabrics. According to this inspection method, if any fault was observed on a finished garment, then the garment would be called seconds. See, there we were doing everything on the fabric. Here, they are checking things on the garments, right? So to put the garments to seconds or the first, this is the thing. Now, the disadvantage of this particular Dala system is that it increases the cost of production as defects is located or identified when the garment is finished. So when the garment is done and you get big defects in that, that means it has to be actually thrown away, or it has to be put into seconds. So this way, I think this particular system has not taken much importance, rather than the best system, which actually happens is, which actually is used by most of the people, is 4-point system. So I hope, I could explain you in very brief, the 4-point system. And I think I will, you can, let's go to the next slide, please. Now, this is very important for everyone who is into this, because we need to understand the major defects found in the fabric. See, we have woven fabrics, we have knitted fabrics, and we have defects in the dyeing or printed fabrics. Now, the woven ones can have slubs or missing yarns or handouts or soil yarns. Similarly, the knitted fabrics can also have similar kind of things. They have been mixed with other yarns. That also needs to be taken. There's a needle line on that, and there are slubs in that, holes. There are so many types of defects which are found in fabrics. But what I've covered is just the very important ones. And similarly, in case of the printing or dyed fabrics, we see the defects as dye spots, or the color outs, or even the smearing of the color also happens. And even shading is different. When we do the color matching, the shading becomes altogether different. And then lot to lot, we have to do a lot of things. So that kind of things can also be taken care of by the fabric inspection machine, or the inspection of the fabrics. Yeah. Now, what I really wanted was, you can go to the next slide, please, because I want to tell everybody what is a check master, what is a fabric inspection machine actually. When we talk about the fabric inspection machine, it is done to determine the faults or defects in the fabric, or end-to-end or edge-to-edge shading and everything. Now, next generation fabric inspection machines are available in the market, which can have both side rollings. Normally, it has got a 72 inches wide fabric can be done. Normally, we receive fabric for about 48 inches, sometimes it is 54 inches, and sometimes it is 62 inches, all the way to 72 inches. This particular machine, which you're seeing on the screen, can comfortably do the fabric inspection of 72 inches wide fabrics. And it can do rolling on both the sides. So, for example, you are doing the testing and you want to check again, you want to again make sure that you have to be sure whether what you checked was okay or not. You can even put it back. So that is, it has got two modes of operations. It has got a continuous inspection. It will be doing continuous inspection, or it can even do small inching movement, so that you can do it very, very minutely. Now you can see in this machine, the light sources are coming from the top as well as from bottom. The hood, which you're seeing, it has got LED lights. Now, when you want to check the dyeing defects, or you want to check the printing defects, you will be operating through the top light. Yeah. And when you are operating, when you want to check the weaving defects in the gray fabrics, then you don't require the top light, you only require the bottom light. On both the sides, we have got LED lights, and they are given with the proper illumination, so that the operator can check the fabric nicely, and his or her eyes are also not strained. Now, this machine also has got a length counter. The orange wheel which you can see, that is the length counter, which does accurate length measurement. And the control panel, which you're seeing just down on the panel, it also has got a digital fault counter, the lower one. Yeah, it is right here where the red buttons are there. So it has got the length counter, it has got the fault counter. Now, please give attention. I want to tell you something very important. When an operator is working with both length counter and the fault counter, he can easily note down in a particular roll that this roll has got 10 defects. The first defect comes on third meter. The second defect comes on the 7th meter. The third defect comes on the 18th meter. So you can fully well understand, because from one side, the roll is coming, and the other side, the roll is again being made. Yeah. So in that case, it is very important that we understand how many defects are there and at which meterage they are there. So this particular thing will help you. Digital fault counter and length counter will actually help you to determine that. It has got, it has got special tensioning devices. The machine which are available, they have also got automatic advanced stop, auto stop. What happens is, when the fabric is finished, the machine will stop automatically. This is very important, because otherwise the person has to run at the back and make sure the roll is made nicely. In that case, the machine has got this feature that the moment it is finished, it automatically stops. It has got emergency switch, which you can see in this panel. This red button is emergency switch. Now, because of safety norms, whosoever is operating, we have to ensure one person may be at the back, the other person can be in the front. So at both the places, we have got emergency switches in these machines, so that something goes wrong at the back or in the front, the person can immediately stop the machine. This is as per international norms. And with tower lights and SS rollers and heavy duty rollers, with all those things, these machines are very, very reliable and sturdy. Even we at Paramount have clients who have been using the Checkmasters from, I think, last 5, 10, even 15 years. And I'm happy to say, you may be knowing, maybe a few of the customers are sitting here, Jagdish Store and Floor and Furnishing, Soft Options, Manevar, it's a famous brand, Manevar, Maral Overseas, Sarita Anda, many, many customers are there who are using, and they have increased their productivity substantially through this. We even have customers, or there are customers who are using 2, 3, 4, even 6 machines at a time. These machines are capable of doing much more work than the normal inspection tables. So Gagan, with these proven systems, and the garment exporters can increase actually their productivity many, many times. I'm sorry, I
Wonderful.
feel long, but what to do? I have to explain everything.
Oh, I think that was a very detailed and very nice information which people got. And I already see some messages on the chat box that it was really good. And I also see some questions coming in from Pradeep Yadav and other people. My request to you, Babu Anagappan, my request to you is, please put those questions in the Q&A box. We will be taking up all the questions in the next 15 minutes as soon as we close, right? Now, Manjit, I realize and I see that some amazing check systems, the testing point systems and all that, what you mentioned, 4 point, 10 point, all of these systems. Now, the methods are very, very effective. I can already see that. But I want to ask you is, you also mentioned that some of the top people are using it and have also done modifications and got their productivity out of it. What I want to ask you is this kind of inspection through these machines, Paramount or no Paramount, other machines, but I want to ask a question around the machines itself. Is this a common phenomena around, at least in India? Are people regularly using these machines at this point of time?
Gagan, I'm happy, I could make you understand the systems are very important, but I'm really sorry to say, that very less people are using these systems or the fabric inspection machines. Uh, with my experience of so many years, it's been, I think, nearly a quarter of a century that I have the luck of, working with so many garment exporters. Uh, what we have identified is the problem is the mindset. We need to change our mindset. And for this, I think the best example what I can give is our next door neighbor, uh, who is as good, who has done excellent things, with a complete focus on this. They have increased their production immensely through adoption of technology and quality mindset. They have, they came out of our country, but they have outcrossed us, which is marvelous. I sometimes feel awe for them. How could a country which is 33rd part of India could outcross India? It is just because of the fact that they have adopted new technologies. They have got excellent systems, and that too particularly in fabric inspection as well. Because when the productivity we need to increase, when we are sometimes we're talking about 10,000 meters, 20,000 meters, 50,000 meters. When we're talking about 5 million meters, nothing can be done except the mechanized things. And those guys, those are neighbors, were very smart to adopt that. Well, I think I strongly feel that we have to change our mindset to technology for scalability and timely deliveries. This is very, very important. A famous quote by Einstein is, if we keep on doing the same thing and expect different results, it is a definition of insanity.
Yes.
Yeah? We cannot do that, please. Yeah. We have to change our things if we really want to have different results. Now, the inability of changing to the modern system is actually, hindering our growth. We really feel so. And when we all understand the change is actually painful. I was talking, our Commerce and Industry Minister, Mr. 𝗧cie 𝗶𝗰, kept the target of India's total exports to $1 trillion by 2030. And our aggressive and wonderful Modi ji changed it straight away to $2 trillion. See, if we have to achieve these kind of excellent dreams, then we have to adopt something different, new technologies. And Modi ji is so, aggressive and so wonderful that he wants to make India a $5 trillion economy by 2025. In order to help him achieve this dream, we all have to work together. We have to move from our comfort zone towards our growth zone, which is again very painful. As a famous saying goes, there is no growth in the comfort zone and there is no comfort in the growth zone. We need to understand that. So Gagan, we actually need to change our mindset. We have excellent potential, but because of our inhibitions, because of our fear, we Indians which are carrying, we are not going into the next orbit, which we all have to gather the strength and courage to move into the next orbit.
Wonderful. All right, great. Thank you so much. And yes, Manjit, I completely understand. It is the mindset shift which is required, and we need to all work towards it as a country. Definitely, if India has to achieve those ambitious targets which have been set, right? Now, the questions are flowing in, and I know that many of the people are getting eager to get those questions answered. I'm going to ask you a couple of more questions. And another 10 minutes, guys, we should be getting on to the Q&As from you, right? Now, I want to ask you the next level from this. Now, I understand you showed us the systems, the machine which you showed, can actually help you double the productivity, which is wonderful, right? I want to ask you, what next? Are the advanced countries doing something even better? What are they doing?
Yes, I think it's very, very relevant questions, and all our attendees will also love to know that due to the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning, we have the machines which are now IoT based, Internet of Things based, which can be run and monitored and controlled and even repaired through RTS, that is called remote technical support from anywhere in the world. Now the machines have come which can do automated inspection. I think one of our attendees have also asked this question. Let me try to answer. So this machine works in real time, checking and registering every defect without any human intervention. With this machine, the whole fabric inspection is automatic without the need of even a single person.
Wow.
And I want to show you a small video here, my friends,
Yes.
just to see for yourself. It's a 2.35 seconds video. Now just see, yeah, this is a video from one of the best in the world. Just
Go
see.
ahead. You were saying something.
I wanted to say about, because we need to be thankful to the people from where we have taken this. Now this is a video from one of the best companies in the world making testing instruments for quality control from fiber to yarns. This has been one of their most recent innovative product, which is called 𝗧cie𝗶𝗰. I think most of you must be aware of the 𝗧cie EVS Fabric Vision. This is the new product, which is for automatic fabric inspection machines. Just have a glimpse of the future of fabric inspection. Hope you will like it. Go ahead, sir.
Your quality is our vision. Optimize your fabric quality with automated inspection. Achieve maximum fabric yield and deliver consistent quality with efficient fabric grading. With Fabric Vision, your inspection routine is automated to ensure best possible fabric quality. It works smoothly and quickly in real time, checking every roll and locating every defect at line running speeds. There's no need for slow and costly manual inspection anymore. Automation is far more accurate, consistent, and reliable. Fabric yield will be maximized for numerous applications thanks to defect mapping and cut optimization. It starts by inspecting the material using multiple spectroscopes and illumination. Each defect is automatically detected and recorded, generating a defect map, which is saved to the customer's network. Invisible infrared marks are applied at set intervals during inspection. These are synchronized so that all defects stop at the correct point for operator grading action. With Album Review, the defect map is downloaded to an offline PC where it can be checked and optimized for final cutting. Here, unwanted images can be removed and defect codes entered. This ensures optimum inspection efficiency and throughput. Automated classification using artificial intelligence will become available for more applications. The final stage in the process is performed by the Optimized Cut Control (OCC) system. The OCC imports the cleaned and coded defect map to a PC mounted at the inspection table and creates a cutting plan to suit the customer's setup. To present each chosen defect to the operator, the table stops automatically at each precise location. Optimize your fabric quality with automated inspection. Achieve maximum fabric yield and deliver consistent quality with efficient fabric grading. Your quality is our vision.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Manjit. Wonderful video. I see it definitely adds a lot of value to the people with the whole thing being shown properly. Now, Manjit, I want to ask you now the next question. So I already see that with these advanced versions, you have latest in the technology even beyond what you can think of, right? This is really wonderful. I want to ask you now, and there was a question which also came up in the chat box, right? There may be different kind of fabrics which are available, right? Knits, nylons, elastic, lycra, etc. Right? Now, are there different machines for these kind of fabrics? Can you tell us or throw more light on all of this fabric and machines and inspection around it?
Yes, you got it right, Gagan. There are different machines for different type of fabrics. And more specifically, not only the different type of fabrics, but also catering to different kind of industries, because on the purpose of the usage. Yeah. Let me give you a brief of 7 different type of machines which are normally available in the market. Yeah. I think we can have a slideshow running again. I just want to show them once. Yeah. This is now the first one, please. The first one is now, yeah, this is the base, this is the normal machine. And once again, here, my friends, I really want to thank, are deeply grateful to 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰 for making such innovative equipments which can take promising country like us from India in the next orbit of government exports easily, conveniently through technology. Now, let me give you very brief about the different kind of machines which are available, which can be of help to you, sir. The first kind of machine which is there, this is a very basic machine, which I also explained to you about this. This is meant for the woven fabrics. The next slide, please. Then we have specialized, because the knitted fabric is a fabric which has to move with tensionless, movement. Now, this is a specialized machine which uses different motors and sensors and also different systems with which the whole fabric moves very, very smoothly without any tension. So this is called 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰 knitted. It can be used for elastics or knitted fabrics or lycra, any kind of thing. And the third kind of machine is called 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰 plating. Now, this plating thing is used mainly, with dyeing and processing industry, because when they are inspecting the fabric, then they have to put it loose because they have to be dyeing the fabric. Now, this particular thing is again very important in all kind of dyeing and processing mills. You might have seen, they're inspecting the fabric, and then the fabric is falling, easily just down, so that in the trolley goes in the dyeing machine, and then they load the fabric in the dyeing machine, loose kind of fabric. So this is called a 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰 plating. The next one is called 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰, which is automatic auto edge alignment machine, which is having the perfect rolling. Now, this particular machine is specifically used when you want to have perfectly aligned rolls. If your output has to be perfectly aligned rolls, when you have to give these rolls to your different departments, they have to go in a perfectly aligned way, or if they have to be kept in their racks in a perfectly aligned way. So this particular thing is 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰 with perfect rolling. The fifth one is 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰. So this particular machine is normally used by fabric manufacturers, retailers, as well as wholesalers, when they have maybe 1,000 meters of fabric and they want to make 10 rolls or 15 rolls out of that. So the fabric travels all the way under the person, and then at the back of the person, it makes the rolls. So this is a very convenient machine for all the so it's a big machine for fabric manufacturers, retailers, and wholesalers. The next model of the machine, which is the sixth one, is an automotive, 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰 automotive. This is with you can see it is with the patching and plating and perfect rolling. It is specifically meant for automotive industry, like car seat covers. The people who are making car seat covers, the fabric for that. Say, for example, Maruti or Hyundai or Mahindra, there are companies like Bharat Seats, 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰. They have been using all these machines, and we are lucky and we are very fortunate that in 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰, we have got 4 machines working, and most of them have got machines because they help them in increasing their productivity to a considerable level. Last but not the least is a specialized machine, which is called 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶𝗰. It is a multi-purpose and multi-dimensional machine which has nearly all the features in one single machine. It has got perfect rolling, it has got plating, and you can see plating is on both sides, in the front side as well as the back side. Then it has got, automatic edge alignment. It has got even automatic cutting. The roll is made and then automatically cut at a specific, measure. And then the roll can also be weighed. It has got a weighing scale as well. So it's a perfect machine with all multi-functions. This is a little bigger machine. All the other machine which you saw, they were about 7.2 inches. But this particular machine comes, the minimum smallest model is 90 inches, so that it takes care of weighing, plating, everything it takes care of. So these are, so Gagan, with so many different machines with different advantages, we can cater to nearly every type of fabric available in the world.
All right, wonderful, wonderful information. Thank you so much, Manjit. And yes, I see that we have come off the top of the hour. It's about 4:51. We have one last question, and we are now ready to answer all the questions. There are already 15 questions waiting for you inside the Q&A box. So we will get to those questions now. Last question, Manjit. Now that you've spoken about the 4-point and the 10-point and the 4 different types of check systems, you've also given us a sense of the kind of machines. You've shown us the future of the machines as well. Very interesting video. People are really commenting about it. And then you also spoke about the 7 kinds of machines which are required, right, for various kinds of fabrics. The question which was there, and now my question to you is, all of these systems, right? How adopting all of these systems and all of these mechanized systems, fabric systems, can actually double your productivity? Where does this doubling the productivity comes in? How do we go about it? Everybody's wanting to check that at this point.
Well, I can say that this is $1 million question. Good one. Like, I'll request you to please run the small, PPT as well again,
Yes.
because everybody needs to understand. Yeah, after this. See, in garment exports, the scariest word is rejection. The fabric inspection machine ensures that the rejection due to fabric faults or defects is reduced to the minimum. This is something which is very, very important, because if we don't check the defects in the fabric, and at the later stage, if defects emerge out, then it becomes a very big problem, because the whole shipment can be rejected, or else you'll be getting a very hefty debit, which will be 30%. Say if a shipment of 2 crores get a 30% debit, 60 lakh rupees are gone, which is a very big amount for a shipment. So the first and the most important thing is actually fabric inspection machine helps us to reduce all the rejections due to fabric faults or the defects in that. The next one is, and I can even say, by reducing the rejection, it even reduces down the losses to a great extent. If due to lack of inspection the fault is found, when the garment is ready, the whole shipment, as I was telling you, the whole shipment will get a debit. So not only rejection, it also is reducing all the chances of getting debits or incurring losses. It's a double thing which we're having. And it also saves a lot of time, as in the beginning itself the fault can be detected in the fabric and corrected. And in fact, I can say even the manual fabric checking is slow and quite tedious. Yeah. And when you do the fabric inspection, it strengthens the confidence, your confidence, also the confidence of your buyer. So I can comfortably say, the productivity will increase, not only 2 times, many times, but see the kind of advantages which we are getting. So this is when you have trust of the buyer with such promising vendors, what is going to happen is we're going to have a lot of orders. And then ultimately, what we're going to have is with a lot of orders, increased business, we will get good profits as well. So this is going to be the ultimate outcome of the fabric inspection, which you have put in your efforts. And because of that, this is the outcome which you get your peace of mind. Just by installing a simple fabric inspection machines, so many things are taken care of. One. Secondly, we know people, let me inform you, many of our proactive, broad-minded, and forward-looking garment exporters have started using fabric inspection machines. And we have vouched for them that one fabric inspection with 2 people can easily do the work of 4 to 5 inspection tables, which are engaging 8 to 10 people. It is making their production fast. They have increased their productivity to not double. They have increased their productivity to many, many times. We know people who could increase the productivity all the way to 5 times just by replacing few of their inspection tables to, a good new technology fabric inspection machine. So their productivity has doubled and tripled and 4 times. And then also the kind of savings and all the hassles which they have actually removed is sometimes priceless. So Gagan, I can say the more mechanized the inspection, the more and more is the productivity which we have seen in front of us happening with many of our wonderful exporters.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Manjit, for this beautiful information today, going in details, and yes, has a direct impact on the productivity. Now, I'm going to be taking up all the questions now, but before I take the questions, first of all the people who have stayed here, I would request you one thing, please. If in case you liked this particular session of ours, and this is our second session, and we will be coming up with these sessions time and again, every month we will come up with one session. Next month, our session will be also there. But before that, in case you liked this particular session, just click on the link which is given here. You can see it is marked in blue. 𝗧cie𝗶𝗰 is a Google link. It will take you only 2 seconds to give a 5-star review to Paramount. If you have liked this session, if you've been a customer of Paramount, and if you think that this session was helpful to you, just give us a review here. It will be really, really wonderful, right? Having said this, as I was talking about, that next month, in the middle of October, we will be coming up with our 3rd such session, and that session will be on color matching. Yes, we will not stop. We will pick up a topic by topic, problems by problems, and we will try and solve these problems for all the people who are in the industry, who don't think there's anybody who can really guide them. We are here to guide you, to really take you with us in this journey of excellence, of doubling, tripling, and 10xing your productivity, right? So now is my time to take up these questions one by one, but please, I would request you spend a moment, 2 seconds, and click on the link and give us a review. That'll be really, really kind of you. Okay, so let's get to the questions, Manjit. And I think my first question would actually be from Anuradha. Okay, Anuradha actually had sent the question even before the webinar started. She's from Silk Asia, and she said, in regard to today's webinar topic, we have a query which may be taken up during the course of the webinar, right? We are discussing it now. Okay, she says, polyester viscose addition to cotton fabrics. With hike in cotton price, spinning mills are adding them to the cotton to reduce the price of yarn. While dyeing, the cotton part of fabric has proper finishing, whereas the polyester part has problems. Improper blending is creating disputes. How can this be resolved? Manjit, what is your opinion about this question from Anuradha?
Another very good question, and we keep on having such kind of questions from our wonderful customers, which are more than 50,000 customers all over India. Yep. Now, I want to tell you that cotton is a natural fiber. Yeah, it is so good for the skin. It is so good for any kind of fabric. But the moment we, mix it with polyester viscose or man-made fiber, it is not natural. Fibers will not be gelling up with the cotton. So for this kind of thing, as far as solution is concerned, the solution lies with your supplier only. What we can do is we can give you some instruments with which you can check, and which are already checking, because the moment it is dyed or the moment some kind of processing is done on that, you will know that this is cotton. Everything has happened to this. Now, what has happened to this particular line, in which there was viscose or polyester thing? You have to talk this thing nicely with your supplier. We don't want this kind of mixture because it is creating problems to our buyers. So this has to be taken at the production level only with your buyers, right? And if you need any of our help in this, we are always there with you. But we can only identify that, but it has to be taken at the place where the problem has actually occurred.
All right.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, Benedict Irudiaraj says, you had mentioned about ABCD grading somewhere. He said that is the ABCD grading based on any standards?
No, ABCD grading, yes, it is based on standards. It is from American Society of Testing Materials. If you wish, Mr. Benedict, it's a good question. We can send you the complete details of, from where this particular thing has been taken. And we can even send you the complete standard of A, B, C. And after that, D is the rejection. A is, the quality, which is fine. B is seconds. And C is the third one. Right? So if you wish, you can please give us a number. It will be a pleasure if we can send you the complete system with which the whole thing has been derived from. It is there.
Wonderful. So a question from Alok Sharma and says, I think the question is, says light source specified for inspection by 4-point system. He wants to probably know about that. And then he also wants to know about speed for inspection. The 2 points he has written. I'm not sure which context.
Alok, I know Alok from a long time. Alok, I'm so happy to talk to you, my friend here. Such a pleasure. And both the questions are very, very relevant, I'll say. First is the light. Alok, the light which is recommended globally is a 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶 light with which we do all the matching as well when we in the color matching cabinet. And the same kind of light is used in during the time of fabric inspection as well. And in the Checkmasters, you will find this lights which are LED lights, which have long life. That is one. And secondly, it gives exactly that kind of illuminance, which is good to check the fabric and not bad for the eyes as well. So the light is 𝗧cie𝗽𝗶 light, which is called artificial daylight. And secondly, the very relevant question, at what meterage the machine inspection should be done. The machine is capable of doing inspection from 5 meters per minute to 45 meters per minute. But globally, the standard is that at 15 meters per minute, you can do perfect inspection of the fabric. You can have all the defects also analysis done. You can have all the other things as done. So 15 meters per minute is the right speed, which will help you to do right fabric inspection. Thank you. I hope I answered my question.
All right, great. Now there was another observation from Raja Narayan. He says probably the link doesn't work, but actually the link is working. We are kind of some of you to have given the review accordingly. Mr. Raja Narayan, I've put another link in the chat box. Mr. Pandey, please click on this link and you may definitely be able to reach directly. I just checked, the link is actually working and we have got some good reviews as well. Thank you so much. Now, going to the next particular question, Mr. Gopinath D says, how to check the gray fabric which is having polyneps and mixed yarn in gray form?
This is a little typical question, but the thing is, we need to see most of the fabrics are automatically checked in the artificial daylight. But in some specific cases, like in your case, you need to check the neps as well as that specific defects in that. For that, what we can do is, because we have an experience center in our factory as well, but it can be done anywhere else as well. If you send us a few meters of your used fabric, what we can do is we can check it up in different versions, in different light sources, in different environments, and then can tell you exactly this is the best way, this is the best environment in which these kind of defects can emerge from your kind of fabric. That can always be done. And we can provide this service free of cost from our side to our wonderful customers. You can send a sample and we'll give you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. I have another question in the chat box. I'll pick up a question from early in the chat box. Maybe there were a few questions coming in. Okay. Ankur Sharma actually says, sir, is these methods and defect points are applicable for different types of fabrics? I think you've already answered these questions, right? Yes, this question has been answered already. Thank you so much. And then Mr. Ravindra Deshmukh says, how many rolls of 20 kgs can be checked in 8 hours?
20 kgs rolls, it all depends on, how 20 kg roll can be of 50 meters, 20 kg roll can be of 30 meters, 20 kg roll can be of 100 meters if it is a very thin fabric. So it all depends. I have given you the very basic and excellent way of checking the fabrics at 15 meters per minute speed. If you now, use any of the calculations, you will understand how many rolls can be actually done in 8-hour shift or 2 shifts of, maybe 8 hours. So now it is very convenient because every fabric, whether it is thin or little thick, or less GSM, higher GSM, will be moving at a speed of 15 meters per minute, which is good enough, which is nice. So from here, you can actually find it out how many meters or rolls you can actually check in about 8 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours time.
Wonderful. All right. While I understand people are somebody by the name of Vivo wrote very important session for us. I would say, please express in the chat box, in case you have liked this session, my request to you is put it in the chat box. What one word, if you can put it, or 2 words, how was the session for you? If it was useful, type in useful. If it was good, type in good. If you think that you really found value in it, type in that you found value. We will be very, very pleased to hear some good comments from you on this. And yes, what I would also request is to one more thing. All of these sessions which we are bringing in these sessions on the request of our customers. They want to hear about all of these things. So my request to you, friends, in case you want some topics to be covered in our sessions around quality testing, right? Type in that topic for us right now. If you think that in the next time, I've already mentioned to you that we will be doing the color matching topic, right? We will be doing a detailed session on color mapping, right? Next, if you want to hear more, what you want us to cover in the month of November, type in for us and we will make sure that we will give you that particular topic, right? Now, a lot of good comments. So Manjit, very, very thankful, very, very useful comments which are coming in, which is so wonderful to see that people are really, really admiring these sessions of yours. Thank you so much, Manjit, for doing this for the people. We come back to the questions. All right. Let's do the questions, and I will keep pulling in the Google review. Some of you who have written the impressive and thanks and good here, click on the link. Just take a moment to rate 5-star to Paramount, and it'll be really tell the world that you know what, you really liked it. Okay. So coming back to the questions, Manjit. Now, Babu Anagappan says fabric inspection happening up to 125-inch also. I think it's a question. What should be the ideal light illumination value, lux value?
Normally, what we do is, Babu, this is again a very important question. Thank you so much for asking this, because, and I will really request everyone to keep on asking questions. My friends, please understand, even Einstein asked questions. Okay, when Einstein, who happened to be the one who was the most intelligent person who walked on planet Earth, then where do we stand? So you don't know, Babu, or all the people who've asked the question, your one question will give answers to so many people. This is very important. So yes, 125 inches, width unit is also there, and even more than that, because when we make home textiles, the width of the fabric is very, very big. Normally I can say 70 to 80% of the fabrics will be coming below 72 inches. It works very well. But then we also have a 90-inch fabric and 110-inch fabric, 120-inch fabric, even 130-inch. I remember, long time back for a customer in Ludhiana or in Amritsar, we made a machine. He wanted to have a 130-inch machine. In fact, for some other customers also, Sarita Handa, I remember, you may be knowing Sarita Handa, we made a machine specifically to meet their requirements. That was a thing about 125 inches. Yes, the machines are available in the market. You can please take it from any of the reputed manufacturer. And the light level, the light, I think I have answered, the light has to be D65 or the artificial daylight. Even some of the people even go in for the CWF light, which is called cool white fluorescent light. And the illuminance level will be varying from 600 to 900 lumens. This is the standard thing. Less than that, you may not see the defects. And more than that, it may, give some kind of strain on your eyes. So it is between 600 to 900. When we do color matching, you must all be aware of that because you're all good people who understand about these textile concepts. There also, it goes from 900 lumens. Here, from 600 to 900 lumens is good enough to check any kind of defect. So thank you.
Wonderful. Suresh says nowadays only 4-point system is used. I think this is an observation, probably. Jitendra has a question. Sir, 25 defects allowed or not in 100 meters?
25 defects will be allowed provided the defect points does not exceed 40. It's a very simple thing. 100 yards with the defect points of 40 plus will make it, irrelevant. In a way, it will not be the first, grade fabric that I explained in the 4-point system. So 25 defects, if they are smaller ones, yes, they are allowed. But if the calculation comes out to be more than 40 defect points, no, then the fabric will become, actually the second fabric. I hope I could answer your question.
All right, wonderful. Muthuraman asks a question. Dear sir, you said 40 points accepted per 100 yards. The following follow-up question, which is it globally accepted? Question mark. Hope it may vary, depends upon buyer. Please advise.
Yes. Again, a very nice question. Thank you so much, Muthuramanji, for asking me this question. Although this is a standard, yeah, if it is 40 plus point, defects, the points are there, then it will not be, it will go to the grade B level. But please remember, my friend, there are buyers like Walmart, there are buyers like Gap, and there are buyers like Versace. Now, just understand these three buyers. For a Walmart, if you sell if you go there, you will get a shirt for about 400 rupees, right? And when you go to a Versace, that's a very different thing. In between, if you go to Walmart, not Walmart, if you go to some other branded product means, you go to a place where the same shirt is available for 3,000 rupees. So from 3,000 rupees of Walmart to 300 rupees of Walmart to 3,000 rupees of Zara. Yeah. And then 30,000 rupees of Versace. Now, my friend, please tell me, can Versace give you 40 points? It will not give you even 5 points. He wants 100% perfect thing, because the shirt which will be selling, it will be for 30,000 rupees. Walmart can give you 40 points, even the others, Zara, or they also will be saying no. 40 can be the global standard. Our standard is 20. I hope I could make you understand. Depending on the usage, depending on the brand, depending on where you're giving, it may change. But universal thing is 40 defect points, it is okay. Less than 40 defect points.
Super. Wonderful. Now, Ravindra Deshmukh had asked this question earlier, that how do you redouble the productivity, which has been already answered by Manjit. Thank you so much. Muthuraman says, clearly understood, sir. And Ankur also says, thanks for this outstanding knowledge. Jitendra says, very useful. Very good. Thank you so much, everyone. Now, Vinod Kumar Saini has asked a question. Can this machine detect and capture the defects automatically and CSV as well? I think they are talking about the video or some of the other machines, maybe. That's the question. Yes.
See, the thing is, thank you for asking the question. Now, automatic detection is not possible in these machines. Here, the person has to be there. What we are doing is, we are creating an environment where the detection of the defects will be very easy. When you're doing the table inspection, you are pulling the cloth, and then you're trying to put your eyes on that particular thing so that you detect the defects. Here, the fabric is running smoothly. Yeah, depending on how easy it is for you to detect the defect, right? You can make it a little faster or slower. And then it is also providing you the environment where the detection of the defect is very easy, but it is not automatic. For the automatic thing, I showed you the machine where there are spectrophotometers which are there. There are different illuminations which are there, and the robots are checking and registering all kind of defects. Yeah. So this is not automatic, but this is very convenient way of checking things. Much more convenient and many times more productive than the table inspection. Yeah. Now regarding CSP is count strength product. Now that has nothing to do with this particular thing, because count strength product, you normally check it out in yarns. If it is that context you're saying. So this machine will not do that, CSP. It is only doing inspection.
All right, wonderful. So a few more questions left. The questions are coming more and more. Alok asks a question now. Can you clarify 1 in 9 defects, a captain's level practice by M&S?
No, the thing is, M&S, Marks and Spencers and Zara, all of these have got very specific ways of specifying their defects, which they will accept or not accept. As I was giving the example of Walmart or Zara or 𝗧cie or Dolce & Gabbana, all those big brands. But in regard to Marks and Spencer, if you allow us, we will go through their spec sheet and we'll come back to you in regard to what actually is their standard of fabric inspection. If you have it, you can please send it to us. We will make sure we'll try to put it in a very simple format and send it back to you. Otherwise, we will also get it from there, and then we can explain you everything about that, because every specific buyer has their own norms, has their own quality standards. So we need to follow exactly those norms and standards.
All right. Thank you so much, Manjit. Some of you, I've just now got a message that you are not able to find a Q&A box. Well, we already have a lot of questions in the Q&A box. But in case you are facing a problem, please put the question in the chat box as well. Doesn't matter. We can see it now, and we can very well take these questions in the chat box as well. Okay. So Pravendra Singh Chahal. Hi, Pravendra. He says, are the defects predefined or can be customized according to the nature of the fabric and acceptance level of the buyer?
Yes. Pravendra, thank you so much for asking the question, my friend. There are hundreds of defects which have been defined in this world, which the people have worked on them. We have the specified defects, but we can never standardize the whole thing. Every kind of fabric, whether it is a woven fabric or a knitted fabric or any different kind of fabric, will have very different kind of defects, but the standardized defects are already mentioned, and even you can find the books where all these defects are very clearly defined.
Okay.
Now, what we can do is we need to understand what kind of fabric we are working with. If we are working with most of the time the woven fabrics, we need to be giving you the information about the woven defects. If you are most of the time working with knitted fabrics, we need to be giving, or you should be having the information about all the defects which are there in the knitted fabrics. So this kind of information is completely available. If in case of any specific fabric, you want to have any information, it will be a pleasure. You can please send us your inquiry, and we will make sure we'll send you all the details about that particular fabric of yours. We will send that.
Thank you so much, Manjit. Now, questions are pouring in. More than 50 people are still in the room, which is so amazing. Yes. So, Pravindra asks another question. What defects are taken care by the fabric checking machines? Weaving defects, physical damages, color variations, GSM variations, or more? What all?
See, fabric inspection machine, as I told you, is providing an environment in which you need to check the defects. All the defects in the world, you can check there. All the defects in the world, normally, okay? But who will do it? Your person will be doing it, not the machine. Machine has provided you the environment. Machine has provided you the light. Machine has provided you the beautiful angle on which, the defects become nicely visible. Machine has given you the speed, automatic speed with which the fabric will be moving. All of these things are taken care of by the machine. But my friend, the defects will be taken care by you or your person. Machine will not show any defect. Please understand. But all the defects can be taken care of in that. We see people who are coming from very modest backgrounds, all the way from different parts of India. They become so perfect that the moment fabric starts, moving on the machine, they will catch any kind of defect on that. But the man is catching the defect, not the machine, please. Thank you.
Right. Wonderful. Okay. So Muthu Raman says another question. This is the penultimate question. Dear sir, please specify the recommended lux value for inspection MC/area.
Inspection, I've told them it is from 600 to 900 lux.
Okay.
It has to be there. And the light has to be D65, which is called artificial daylight. Sometimes, in case, the fabrics are most of the time the gray fabrics, then we even recommend a cool white light. See, in a D60, in an artificial daylight, the light is more on the whiter side. Yeah. In the cool white light, the light will be on a brighter side. That means it will have a little more yellow in the light, so that the defects in the gray fabric comes out easily. Okay. Yeah. And if you can please tell us what kind of fabric you're working with, we will surely recommend you a preferable light, but universally it is artificial daylight.
All right, wonderful. So another question from Alok Sharma about the light only. Okay, as per ASTM D5430, okay,
yeah,
lux required for inspection is 1075 lux. Fabric speed is different for printed goods compared to white and dyed goods. This is, I think, an observation, or either it's a question.
No, it is okay. It's perfectly okay. ASTM, according to this standard, it is fine that the lux has to be 1075. But the thing is, Alokji, thank you so much for bringing this so that everyone benefits from here. We have the lights which have got the illuminance level, which is quite good. Yeah. So from 900 above, see, 900 and 1075 will not make much difference. But please understand, anything which starts going more than that, we have observed from our own experience, there is a kind of strain which starts coming on the eyes, which we don't want. We value our workers, we value our people. So at the maximum 1075, we can go, but it also depends on the kind of voltage it is working on. If the voltage is more, the illuminance level also goes more. In case of American systems, there the exact thing is specific. If they say it is 125 volts, exact thing will come. Here, 220 goes to 230, 240, and even 220 goes to 180, 190 as well. So depending on that, what we saw was 900 was a good level, which doesn't, give strain, but 1075 is fine. Now, regarding your second observation or second question, it is perfectly okay. In a dyed fabric, and that too not only in dyed fabric of different types, the speed can be variable. Yeah, not only one. And in the printed fabrics of a very dense printing, the speed can be something different. And in a very light kind of printed fabric, the speed can be different. They will definitely be different if we take about two variables like dyed fabric or printed fabric or normal fabric, which is gray fabric. Definitely it'll vary, but in that particular categories also it will vary. The thicker the fabric, the slower you have to go, because you have to check everything very minutely. So in that regard, I hope I could answer your question.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much, Manjit, for this particular explanation. And yes, while we have now finished all the questions, more than 20 questions answered, and it is an amazing, amazing feeling to have answered all the questions and to receive these questions from all of you in the first place. One last call in case you like the session. I put in the link again to review us again on Google. That'd be really wonderful. And I wonder if we had organized a poll, if we can run a poll, that'd be really wonderful. But that's all right. I would like to again mention to you, with your demand, we did this particular program on fabric inspection, right? We are doing next month in the mid of October, we will be doing our next session on color matching. We even got some other requests also from Ravindra Deshmukh. He says, please cover fabric defects in knitted fabrics, or other thoughts also we have got. So which is really good, because we are doing this for you all. And it's only way with which you will get benefited is going to be our mantra, to produce the topics around that and discuss that, bring the knowledge what Manjit has acquired over the past decades for that matter, and give it to you all, and make sure that whatever you do it in the best possible manner, right? So that is really, really wonderful. And I would like to thank each one of you to be here and stayed for now 1.5 hours. Yes, 90 minutes you have given from your precious day. You stayed with us and learned about things. It's amazing. And Manjit, before we actually close the session, some last words from you.
Yeah, I really want to thank them, from the core of my heart. Whenever I see people who really want to learn things, it gives me a inner satisfaction, that we have promising people who are arming themselves up to take India to the next level. It is through learnings, it is through our knowledge, it is through our new things which can put us at a podium from where we can go to the next orbit. And I'm sure, with all of you together and we learning from each other, and I learn a lot of things from you guys as well. Please understand, when you ask questions, I learn a lot of things from you. So with this kind of a beautiful, well-knit group, we will love to take our country towards, the country of our dreams, which is, from here to a $5 trillion economy. Thank you so much for all your time. We really appreciate your valuable time has been given to us, and we have tried our, whatever small knowledge we have, we have tried to give that knowledge to you. Thank you so much once again. Really appreciate.
Thank you so much, everyone. And as Manjit said, that it is all about changing the mindset. It is all about making sure that you start thinking from the thought that, I can be one of the biggest producers, and I am going to make sure that my machines, my people, my factory is going to be the most productive one. And if you change that mindset, I'm sure the magic will start happening. And isn't that what is required? Just a little change in the mindset, and so many things can happen. So on this note, I would like to thank you all again. We had for the past 1.5 hours with us, Manjit Singh Saini, who's the CEO of Paramount Instruments. And I am Gagan Kapoor, a marketing consultant. And we both thank you so much for being with us for the past 90 minutes. It's been an amazing pleasure working with you, talking to you. And we will come back to you next month again with one such, again, valuable and knowledgeable session. Thank you so much, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.